And incidentally, contrary to what they might think, there is voice work done on that show. I mean, it's not like when they pull the flesh off their skull that they sit there and go,
YouTube right now.
and they're still you know. But for instance, that does bring up the old point of, you know, scream. Well, what kind of scream? Am I scared? Am I hurt? Am I happy? Am I surprised? Am I angry? I mean, there are lots of different reasons people might scream. You know, so as an actor, you have to be able to justify all these things. I was teaching my class the other day, and we were going over some copy, and all I do with the commercial copy is just do yourself a favor, answer who, what, why, where, when. Okay, who are you? Who are you talking to? What are you talking about? Why are you talking about it? You know? And each person in the class all had a different answer. But the brilliant thing about it was none of them were wrong. It was just how they interpreted it. But when they read the copy, everybody had a different approach to it. So, you know, you get to have those problem-solving skills when you're reading copy. That's fun. If anybody has another question, just pop your hand up. Stop me. Yes, sir.
What voices did you do for Power Rangers?
What voices did I do for Power Rangers? Well, I was just talking about that today. Earlier, like about a month ago, I was flipping around on HBO Family, and they had the Power Ranger movie on. I tuned it in for a couple seconds, and all of a sudden I hear, I was like, oh, that's right, I did that guy. I was an oozling. That's right. I mean, I was just one of the guys that they would call in every few weeks and just sit there and watch the picture and try to match. You know, and a lot of times what they do is they like give you a warm up, they let you see the scene. When these fight scenes, they just play them. And it's like, okay, I'm that guy. You know, you have a room of 4 different people and you just go one at a time. But my main guys, I played Destruxo, I played Gluto on the last season that was done here in America, and my favorite was, of course, Diabolico. Diabolico was all the way down here. The thing I love about Diabolico is if you stood 4 inches from my face, you wouldn't even hear this. I swear, it's that low in tone. People ask me to do the voice, and if it's a crowded room, it's like, I'll do it, you won't hear it. But that's why a really cool microphone and great speakers like this allow you to get very, very low. But it was Rangers.
It's good. Good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of very cathartic things that happen when you get to play a villain, okay, with like no socially redeeming values. I mean, that's my specialty these days, mostly values. Are you gonna come up and join me? You gonna take over? Why don't you join me? Let's talk together. This way I get to meet you. What, do we have to be that formal? Right? Hi, red tights lady. How are you? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Tell us about yourself.
Kaplan!
Hey, Kaplan! Woo!
Well, you were mid-answer. I didn't want to interrupt.
No, I finished the answer-ish.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Caitlin Glass, and it's a pleasure to be here. Gosh, I haven't done a con in a few months. I think I've forgotten how to do this. I guess I'm going to sit down.
Well, who are you? Where are you from?
I'm Caitlin Glass. I'm a voice actress and ADR director from Dallas, Texas. I work at Funimation Entertainment. Let's see, most people know me as Winry Rockbell. Other stuff I've done, Gunslinger Girls, First Angel. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I can't think of what they all are. Let's see, I am an ADR director, so I've worked on my very first full-length production was a show called Suzuka. I'm also one of the directors of the new dub of One Piece. Anyone's watching the new episodes, I am a part of that. So, yeah, that's what I do. I'd rather talk about what you want to hear, so maybe if you have questions for me, raise your hand.
Or I can just keep talking. I mean,
We'll just have dance.
that was not a bad time step. For those of you who couldn't see it.
Single, guess it was. Here's a question right here.
If you were the voice, say hentai with Kaplan.
The question is, would I ever voice a hentai of Ed and Winry? The answer is no.
What about you, Ed?
First of all, I have done a couple of those things. And I gotta tell you, when I walk out, I want to squeegee myself. And I have a really tough time when I get into the car of thinking, who is the sickest person? The person who watches it? The person who wrote it and drew it? The people who bought it? The people who brought it over here? The people who hired me? Or me? You know, but I gotta tell you, it's very strange when there are, you know, when there are people that you work with for quite some time, and you're doing a scene and go, that's what she sounds like. You know, just like the next time you see him in an audition, you go, you do that chipmunk thing, don't you? Just a reference to Groundhog Day. Okay, guys, all right. But it is a very odd situation, and I'll be honest with you. It's giving me headaches a couple times. Because you're sitting there with some of these silly little scenes, and you know, you try panting for 5 minutes and see if all the blood doesn't rush to your feet. Oh, gee. You know, and yes, I'm going to ask this question, would I voice a yowie? And you know what, if the check cashes. The plain and simple fact of it, I met Seth Green a couple of years ago. Okay, man. Okay, and the way that I did it was, you know, when I go up to a comic book, I got my comic book coming out. I'm trying to meet something else. Sorry. Let the guy roll. I got a comic book. I'm trying to get to the publishers. It's amazing how you can open doors. You see a comic book writer go up to the publisher, say, I'd like you to look at this, and they say no. Then I walk up and say, hi, I'm Neil Kaplan, best known around the world as the voice of Optimus Prime. I have a comic book, which, yeah, please sit down. You know, because they're interested. So I went over to Top Cow, because I wanted to talk to them, and, you know, and I went back later, and there was a signing. And, you know, one of the things I like to do is get stuff signed and then give them to my nephew or my niece or some friends because, hey, if all it does is cost me a half hour out of my life, they think it's a really special present. Woo-hoo! Uncle Neil is cool, you know? So I waited to get the freshman autograph, and 2 people in front of me, I swear to you, 2 people in front of me, goes up to all of a sudden, blank on his name, but to Seth Green, and says, he just sits there and goes, Optimus Prime transform! Let me just say, there was a certain part of the anatomy of every human being on the other side of that table that puckered. Thank you. They were, because I had already introduced myself. So one of the gals was, do you know who's behind you in line? Who? Optimus Prime? And he goes, no, he didn't say it actually, he goes, Optimus Prime off! Optimus Prime off! It's like peak heaven right there. Let me tell you guys something. I sat there and I just went, and you win. You win, you win, you win. I mean, the fact that you're a fan, you've watched the TV show, you know Cybertron, you know all the little turns and whatever. I worked on the show. My brain is already gone. I don't memorize things anymore. That's why I'm a voice actor, because I can't memorize. Just read it off the sheet, read it off the sheet. So it's like it's there and it's gone. So he knows everything. And besides which, what do I have to gain? I mean, if I do it right, everybody's going to say, well, of course he did it right. He's Optimus Prime. And if I do it wrong, I just got to beat by a retard.